Shabbat Shalom. We are at Parshat Chukat, which is in the book of Numbers, and it is jam-packed with so many different stories. It starts with the telling of how to purify oneself, the people who have become impure because they've been in contact with the dead, through a very bizarre ritual with a red cow, the red heifer. And it is one of those laws that we really can't explain. Doesn't make any sense. That's Chukat, basically. These are just laws and statutes that we follow because God told us to. So it begins with that, but then it moves into the death of Miriam, the sister of Moses, who was responsible for waiting at the Sea of Reeds for the baby, and then ensuring that her mother could take care of this baby that the princess had found, and who goes on, and because Miriam actually told her parents it wasn't right, that the male babies should be saved, this baby that she ushered into life really and helped save, becomes the person who frees the whole people. And she's really this amazing leader who, when she dies, all of a sudden, there's no more water. There'd been 40 years of this amazing resource of water in the desert. And when Miriam dies, the water is completely gone. We just don't always realize the blessings that individuals bring into this world until they're not with us. And God basically tells Moses and Aaron, after the people are complaining that they're thirsty, he tells them to strike a rock. And Moses strikes the rock twice. And God says to Moses, "You obviously weren't listening and didn't believe in me. Because you hit the rock twice, you're not going into the promised land with the people." So Moses and Aaron are basically told that they're going to die in the desert, and it will be Joshua, the leader that is underneath Moses, that will lead the people into the promised land after this episode, into the near future. It was just a jam-packed Parsha, and let's see what the cards have to tell us in terms of looking deeper at Chukat and understanding what it means to us and now. So I'm just going to shuffle 3 times, and then I'll separate it into 3 stacks, and then let's climb the mountain. So anyways, yeah, we'll go like that. So the first card, this is what we enter into this week with, and it is with a sense of radiance. So we understand our purpose and we live into our purpose. And because of that, we've arrived at this moment in time. The energy that we need to bring into this week is to detox, which is really interesting because that's certainly what the purification process is all about. So that makes sense to me, given that this parsha begins with the whole red heifer and the purification process for people. Wow. So the energy that we are to learn more deeply from this week's Torah is arrogance. Arrogance is an idea that we are apart from others as opposed to apart from the world as opposed to a part of the world. And I think this is something I'm looking forward to speaking more deeply about how this connects to with this week's Torah. But just real quick to see the recommendation for how to really understand more deeply what it means to get in touch with our own sense of arrogance. The higher self asks us to take time and to reflect. So looking at the ways in which we feel separate, or we have a sense of pride and we're not letting go of it. Asking ourselves the questions that enable us to get in touch with our arrogance. And ultimately the outcome, if we go through that journey, is that we will cultivate a deeper sense of kavod which makes sense because this is the practice of building respect for the world that we live in. So Shabbat Shalom. I look forward to writing the newsletter.